Hey there, Plant Go here. Today I'm going to be repotting this beautiful philodendron. This is a philodendron Birkin, and you can see the beautiful cream striping on the leaves. It's just gorgeous. It's a really nice looking plant. There's a little bit of scorch on the leaves here where I purchased this at Walmart actually last night, so I'm suspecting that maybe when it got shipped in and brought in, I'm in Saskatchewan, Canada, probably got nipped with a little bit of cold. I don't think this is a sunlight issue because I'm pretty sure it's been indoors most of its time here. But I think it probably just maybe got a little bit of cold. They're wrapped a bit and this was close touching the plastic or something. But otherwise it looks really healthy. I don't often buy houseplants from Walmart, but this looked actually really nice and healthy. I gave it a little shake and a tap and that just to see if there was any bugs or anything coming out of it, and I had a little look under the leaves. I don't see any pests or anything, any signs of anything on it. And so I thought it was a safe one to take back with me to my house and introduce into my home without introducing things I don't want. So if you're going to be purchasing plants really from anywhere, but especially sometimes those big box stores I find, you just want to have a really good look at them and make sure that you're not bringing home unwanted guests. So beautiful plant, fairly easy house care being in a philodendron. Unlike most philodendrons that kind of sprawl and climb and wind around, this one is more upright in its growth habit, and it'll only get like 2 to 3 feet tall. So just a nice sized little house plant. And philodendrons are known for being a bit of an air cleaner as well, so a great house plant to have. It comes, it's in just this regular planting pot, and then it just has this decorative catch pot that it was in. And you could leave it like this and it would be just fine for a little while until it outgrows this pot. They don't need to be potted a whole lot very often, but I'm kind of hoping I can make it work. And we'll see how much roots are on it, if I can make it work into this pot. If not, I'll have to find something different to put it in. But I'd really like it to be down in this low pot, and it feels like there's still a lot of room, like it's really squishy in here. So I haven't pulled it out to see the roots yet, but I'm thinking I can get away with that. So I have this pot here. We'll see. It's much wider than this pot, but it is more shallow, as you can see. And like I said, they don't need to be potted a lot, so I'm not looking to make a lot of room unless when I pull it out, it looks really root bound, but it doesn't feel like it should be. So let's open it up, just have a look and see what's happening in here. So there's roots around the outside, but still like a lot of loose soil. So I think I can just kind of break it up a bit. We'll see. It's my hope anyways. Just break it up. Like there's a lot, like it's been in here a while, but it's not super root bound. If I need to get a bigger pot, I will, but if I can just break some of this off, and I wouldn't mind just getting rid of this top layer anyways, just in case there is any pests that have put eggs in it. This little top layer of soil, that's where a lot of that will be. So we can just kind of get rid of some of that. It's always a good help. Now you don't have to do this when you're repotting a plant. You could just take it, fill the next bigger size pot, and with a little bit of soil just to fill in the excess, and then just drop your plant in. Like I said, like the roots are loose, so it's not root bound or anything, so there's lots of room. Okay, so I think now this will probably fit down in here quite nicely. Yes, and still give me that like 1 inch or so space that you want at the top. And there's still lots of room. Like I'm gonna have to add soil in here. So I think that'll work perfectly. And I just thought that would be kind of cute in that pot with that color and that size. I think just for this size of plant, just that lower pot, and the plant comes out to the sides enough, but it doesn't have as much height here with this. I just thought it would look nicer. So now we know that fits in there. Take it, and I'm just gonna, I'll actually just reuse. I'd grabbed some potting soil, but this was fairly freshly potted by the looks of things, so I can just use the soil that came out of it to fill in some of the edges, and then I can use some more of my own to go on top. needed still. Just try and tuck it down around the sides, get it down in there, because there is, like, I can easily stick my finger down around the sides still. Sometimes I think places pot up into a bigger pot just to make it look like a bigger plant so they can sell it for more money. That could just be a cynical thing to think. What do you think? Okay, so that was most of the soil that I pulled out of there, and then there's still room to add a little bit more, so let's grab a little bit. This is just Miracle Grow indoor potting mix. It says it has some feed in it, and it's designed to be less prone to fungus gnats. Now, I've repotted a few things in my room here with this, and they've had fungus gnats, so I'm not sure how it's designed to be less prone to fungus gnats, but I wouldn't think that's a guarantee of no fungus gnats. So just a little bit more in here. Like I said, we want to leave some room so when we water, there's a little bit of a lip there so the water doesn't just all pour right out the sides and it has time to soak into the soil. And I'm not packing it like super tight so that there's no air exchange in there. We just want to, you know, get it so it's not, there's not big air pockets in there, because there's a difference between room for the oxygen in that to move around in the soil and having a giant pocket. It can hold the water in there and drown the roots or dry them out if it's a big air pocket in there. So there we have it, all potted up in there nicely. And now I have this, get rid of this. I have this jug here, and it's a pretty big watering can, but I brought it in and filled it with some fungus gnat nematodes in a package, and the little packs need quite a bit of water to mix them in at the right ratio. But to me, those are the best thing to use. So this is what I got, and we actually have had warm enough weather that I was able to order this in without it like being frozen. I've had just a beautiful start to February after a really, really deep cold at the end of January. So got lucky with that, and I was able to order this. And since this is, you know, like I said, a plant from Walmart, and I'm using this potting mix that has been a little bit questionable for me, I wanted to make sure I got a good mix with this fungus gnat concoction here, these nematodes, so that I can water this in really well, and then that will treat the soil with the nematodes. I just want to get rid of this soil that could contain eggs. Where do I want to put it? Because I want to be able to set this on here. Because this watering can is so big, it'll just, I think, be a little easier for me to pour from this direction. And then if it overflows, it'll catch in this bucket and I can use it. But anyway, so the nematodes will just go in and they'll eat the larvae from fungus gnats. So that's, and I find they work good. I like the bacteria from the what's it called? The mosquito dunks. That works well, but I find these nematodes work even better. So when I can get them here without freezing or being too hot, then I like to use those. So I'm just going to try and get some water with this giant watering can into this pot and settle the soil down, and then that'll also disperse the nematodes around in the soil. So I'm going to give it a pretty good watering just to begin with here today, just to make sure everything's settled down. And there is an opening, there's a drain hole in the bottom, so the extra water will run out of it. And then it doesn't need to be watered super often after that. Like, just stick your finger in, and when the top of the soil is dry, down, you know, a centimeter or two, then you can give it water again. And it just likes a nice bright indirect light area. It doesn't want light right on the leaves, but a nice bright area. And then once the summer and spring season, spring and summer, I guess, comes, then you could just use an all-purpose indoor plant fertilizer just to give it a little bit of extra. Now, this soil that I put in here, I didn't use a lot, but it does have a little fertilizer in it right now. But the plant isn't going to be in a full growth stage right now, even indoors in the winter, especially here up north. Our sun's just not super strong into in through the windows, so it'll be in kind of a rest phase right now. And as we get longer days and the sun changes in the sky, we'll get a little bit more growth happening. But you want to have that bright light so that you keep that that coloration of the leaves. So you can see, like, where they're on top, they're a little brighter. They're probably getting more light, whereas some of the bottom leaves have less coloring on them. So hopefully you can see that. So they don't have all that striation on them. And so that's going to be part of it, is just that they aren't getting that same light, and the light is kind of what brings that out. So hopefully I stirred that enough and got those nematodes moved around in there, and I've got quite a bit of water gone in here. I'm sure it's pouring out of there a little bit now. Oh, no, still no water coming out the bottom, so I'm going to give it a little bit more. Once water's coming out the bottom, I'll let it just drain through a little bit, dump out any excess, and then I can place it in a nice sunny spot in my house to enjoy and have another beautiful house plant. So thanks for coming along with me today while I repot this beautiful Philodendron Birkin, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.